No water today, huh?
Water.
And I ate
Is there water? Yeah, grab one.
Well, we're early today.
Open up for questions for Coach Snyder. Start in the front, down low with Sam.
Mark, how would you assess Stephen Jenkins' season so far?
Up and down, I think he's coming on a little bit. I think he's getting a little bit tired towards the end of the games a little bit, and we're going to have to we're going to start getting Jordan in the game some and moving Darian over and getting him off the field a little bit.
Here in the middle, Josh.
Coach, getting a chance to actually talk to Steven, he said that Jordan's one of the players who is very vocal and he understands the playbook and he's a leader playing that Mike position. Could you talk a little bit about him and where you see him developing?
Well, I think Jordan's going to be really good someday. Only time will tell. The team we're getting ready to play next week, Jordan needs to get in the game a little bit because this is the kind of game. But, looking at our future, Darian will switch back over where Jinx is, and, we hope that Jordan takes over that Mike spot.
Right side aisle, Gabe.
When you're talking to your group, do you take a lot of encouragement by the fact that, 5 of the first 7 drives of the game, you're getting off the field, you're seeing encouragement? The fourth quarter, obviously, was
the fourth quarter was the story of the game. We played really good half of football. We challenged the kids to come out and start fast. In our 4-game break, they scored on the first 2 possessions of every game. And we got off the field, came out second half, got off the field, played well there. It was the last 20 minutes of the game, right before the fourth quarter. Dak takes off with the football, and then we go into the fourth quarter, and they throw the reverse pass, and we don't put them away. We have a chance to put them away, and to their credit, they started running Dak a whole lot, and he took a pound. He took a little bit of a beating now to come out with an L. But I guess they had to do what they had to do. It'll be interesting to see if he plays this week. He was pretty banged up at the end of that game. But yeah, the last 20 minutes is what we're focusing on this week. And again, a little bit of it goes back to we got to get Jordan in the game some. We got to get a rotation going when we have to play a 4-quarter game. The thing that, to me, that was disappointing, we didn't put them away. We had a chance to put them away a whole bunch of times. And it just felt like we just kept letting them hang around, and, they started running Dak a lot.
CD in the last row, KO.
Coach, you kind of went into it a little bit, but is it a matter of the age of the players? Is it because they're so young that they're kind of falling apart towards the end, or is it a matter of fatigue?
I don't know. That's something we're looking at this week. That I can't answer. It may be a little bit of both. Probably their youth, having to play. You look at last year, we didn't have to play into the fourth quarter a whole bunch. And we're letting people hang around, and we're having to play into the fourth quarter this year. And so that's something we're addressing this bye week.
We'll go Luke and then Daryl.
Coach, can you talk about the importance of having a head coach that says the best player is going to play and actually following through with that and the way the guys have to believe it and it excels practice, things like that?
Oh, there's no doubt. Competition makes us all better, and that's what Coach Sullivan does a great job of. It doesn't matter your age. The guys that are producing are going to play, and that creates competition. And anytime you have competition, you're going to get better.
Seat in the back, Daryl.
Can you talk a little bit about the break that you get because of the bye, so you can spend a little more time talking about the last 20 minutes of the last game, and then you can kind of get ahead with the LSU game?
That's huge. The bye comes at a great week. We're pretty healthy. That's a good thing. Because of some of our youth, we get back to some fundamentals this week as we prepare for LSU as well. But we get back to some fundamental things, and it comes at a really good time, I think, especially the 2 offenses we're getting ready to go against. This one we're getting ready to go against is really, really good.
Staying in the back, Mike.
Have you seen anything on Mettenberger so far this season?
As in what?
As in games just earlier in the season, Alabama. What have you seen in him that you think is essential to his game?
Well, he's managing the game. He's a big kid that can throw. We all know that. We knew him coming out of high school and junior college as well. He's got some really skilled people around him. Those 2 wide receivers are really, really, really good. The tailback is really good. Their offensive line is really good, and he's controlling the game. He's managing the game. You can see him getting them into the right plays, the right looks that they want.
Here in the middle, Josh.
Coach, don't want to look too far ahead to LSU and Missouri. No, there are different types of running teams, but does defending the run, is that still a concern? And what do you kind of hope can fix that over the bye week?
Well, I mean, what hurts last week was the quarterback runs. If you look at their total yardage, a lot of that stuff came in the fourth quarter, and we're bleeding slow a little bit. The object's to get the W, and that's what we did. At some point in time, sometimes you have to set back and, you look at the clock and it's running, and you're like, get this game over with, because we're winning. So I think we're coming in the run game. The stats might not show it. What I see on film does show it. I was pretty pleased, like I said, for about 40 minutes of the game. I was pretty pleased with what we were doing. So do we have a challenge next week? Absolutely we do. We got to get back. That's why we're going back to base fundamentals, striking people, separate, disengage, pursue, and tackle, because of the team we're getting ready to face here in a couple weeks.
Standing in the back, Luke.
We talked to some of the players about some of the things they like to do when they get the extra days off. I know you guys hit the recruiting trail, things like that, but is there anything in particular that you like to do or try to do when you do have a bye week, for yourself personally?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's about, for me, it's a little bit of relaxation, family time. Actually get to go home in the evening and hang out with my daughters and those kind of things. It takes some of the stress off because, it is a little bit of a grind, and to have this by at the end is pretty neat, pretty cool.
See you in the back row, Daryl.
LSU will be an afternoon game versus a night game, so they won't be nearly as warmed up as they would be if you kicked at 8.
I've never been to LSU. I've never been there. I went when Coach Miles first got the job. I flew down to visit with him for a minute, but I've never been to a game there. So this will be my first trek at LSU. I hear that it's quite a wild place. My oldest dates a Yankees pitcher who's from that area right there, and they say that it's pretty crazy. So that's about the only information I got.
See you in the middle right, Brian.
Coach, speaking of stadiums, what do you think about the construction going on here?
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
And then how much are you looking forward to an even louder Kyle Field next season?
That's going to be pretty neat. I got there right after the Ohio State renovation. When I went to Ohio State, so when I had a chance to be part of that, I got to see the end result of it for 5 years. It's pretty exciting, real exciting.
Anything else for Coach Snyder? All right.
I didn't say he's going to be my future son-in-law. You're bad. You sound like my daughter. Chaz Ebert, I think, something like that. But his whole family they're big LSU fans, so it'll be a divided house come next week.
All right. Thank you, Coach.